Alright guys, here's a little review of my John Deere Z-Track. It's a Z355E. It's a 2016 model, and I believe I've got 332.5 hours on it. I'll go ahead and show y'all some of the upgrades and modifications I've done to it. Also things I've had to replace. And let's see, starting with the spindles for the front wheels. After about a year use, one of them got very worn and there was no grease fittings. So after ordering the new one, it cost me like 130 bucks. I went ahead and put a grease fitting on each side. I grease them regularly, haven't had a problem since. Other than that, you know, regular maintenance, blades every year, sometimes twice a year, oil filter, air filter, fuel filter. I just recently had to seal the valve covers, so I went ahead and checked the clearance on the valves while I was at it. They were fine, and I went ahead and painted the covers John Deere green just because I had some. Built my own bumper with a hitch, added some lights. Still need to paint it. Probably gonna go with black. It's a little too much green back there, and could go with yellow, not sure yet. Let's see what else. Added my 2 switches for the front and rear lights. And these rear lights I just had laying around. They used to be on the 4-wheeler. Probably would have never used them again. And I went to look for some lights for the rear. I ran across these, so I figured I might as well use them. They'll do all kinds of things. Just for fun. But they do work well. They do serve their purpose. Control with my phone. Another thing I did when I had to replace the throttle cable that broke the other day, I went ahead and disconnected this low fuel light because it's pretty much useless unless you want to constantly look down there. And I'm not sure exactly what I want to put yet. I'm gonna take this bracket off. I made this years ago. Make a little prettier one, get a better light bar. And here's the wires for the low fuel light. Just got them right here for now till I figure out what type of light I want to put, you know, so I'll be able to see it when it actually gets low on fuel. And tested it out the other day and works great. Another thing I had to replace was this grip. It kept sliding on me, so just replaced it. Time for a seat, and just found out they got a seat mount. Takes the place of this one and has suspension on it, better than just those 2 springs. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. And they also make front spindles with suspension built into them. And the major problems I've had are the idler pulleys, bracket for the tensioner, all those components, and my center spindle. All that needs to be replaced. That's in the mail. It should be here tomorrow, day after. But aside from that, 330 hours of you know, use and abuse. I've put her through a lot. I've cut down grass I probably shouldn't have with this thing. It's never bogged down. You know, I cut the grass wet, I cut it in the rain, I cut tall grass, I cut brush with it, and I never hear it bog whatsoever. I mean, this 22 horsepower Briggs is, I think, the perfect engine for this mower. 48-inch deck. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Been a good mower. Said since 2016. A very hard use on it. You know, only problems I had is those pulleys and all of that on the deck, which I'm not too upset about. I mean, all it's been through. Went ahead, got new wheels and all the hardware for that too, coming in with the rest of the parts, and some all the little things that were worn, little knick-knack things, you know. But yep, she is a good mower, and I definitely see another 300 or so hours left in her. Maintain it and you can make anything last forever. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope it helped some of y'all out, especially with the low fuel gauge, you know, low fuel light. Relocating it somewhere up here so it's actually useful. Oh, other thing, the grease fittings for the spindles. That one and the center one aren't too bad to get to, but this one over this spindle is a nightmare. So I went ahead and changed it out with an angled one. You can either do 45 or a 90-degree grease fitting, but that'll help out a lot. The covers they got on these to protect the belt, they hold so much grass and everything, and it's a nightmare to keep up with. I noticed on newer models they've changed designs on some of the things. One thing, the spindles, I think now in these models they're even, they're beefed up. I think the front wheels and tires are a little bigger now. The deck wheels, I believe they made it to where, you know, they got a mount on each side of the wheel instead of just one. And I believe these flip up now on some models to be able to clean easier. I've been debating on whether I just want to take them off. I probably will, because I mean, it's to have to clean this every time you use the mower, and if you don't, you got wet grass and everything sitting there. See, I use it today, still wet. And that's the worst possible thing for these decks. But yeah, any questions or comments or anything, just let me know. Instead of paying outrageous price they want for their bumper, made my own. Definitely stronger than the one they offer. Probably the strongest thing on the whole entire mower. And I'll do some more, you know, upgrades and customizations as I think of them, and as things become a problem, you know, I'll find a solution for it. Anyway, that's my Z355E 2016 model with 330 hours.